I remember only 2 years ago I was skinny as fuck, like underweight skinny, and I lived most of my life thinking it was okay, not realizing that my body weight was my biggest reason of why I was not like fully satisfied out of the smallest experiences of life. So, for example, imagine you're hanging out with your friends on a sunny day. You're wearing a t-shirt that's wide, even though it's small size. Your shoulder bones are clearly visible. You look out of shape, you look tired, fatigued, like nutrition deprived, which is reflected on your facial expression, which in turn changes the way you interact with people. Your back is curved, your neck is leaning forward, and you're sitting like this. You're sitting like this, like you're sad, like you've been just like beaten by your parents. Jokes aside, like this is exactly how I looked before going to the gym. Let me show you, like, this is um, exactly how I looked before going to the gym, like skinny as fuck, out of shape. This was like in May 2022, and this was in April 2024, like after 2 years of consistently like hitting the gym and lifting weights. I remember back at that time, like I used to weigh around 64 kg with a height of 190, which, if we do the math, I was basically underweight, unhealthy, and of course out of shape, all of which kind of drastically reduced my life experience. Let me show you here is how I look now after 2 years of consistently hitting the gym like nonstop. Here's like another picture of my back. So my back used to look. This is like this picture that was like exactly before I hit the gym, like one day before I hit the gym, and this is like after 2 years of consistently hitting the gym, and so you can see like uh, I hit like the gym like consistently for 2 years. Like 3 weeks was the longest time I went without hitting the gym, and I still did some push-ups. So basically, exercising nonstop to get to this level right here. And I can tell you, take it from someone who's basically a gym addict, that being out of shape, whether you're skinny, underweight, overweight, or skinny fat, this is definitely not a good way to live, and you'll miss out on a lot of things in terms of the quality of your life, the connections you make, the attention you get from women, your stamina, your confidence, energy, testosterone levels, etc. You are not living to your full potential when you're out of shape. Like, sure, you might be rich or financially free and like might think like you're living to your full potential, but unfortunately, that's not the case before, because like at some point in your life, I mean, at some point in my life, I felt like I was financially free. Like I made some extra money online, right? Like I felt like I had everything I needed, but I always felt like there is something missing. I'm not satisfied, even though like I got some extra money, because I felt weak, fatigued, and unhealthy, and money couldn't solve this like instantly. So I had to put in the fucking hard work to better my life experience. Like now, after thousands of reps and hundreds of hours lifting weights, I walk around feeling proud of my progress with broad shoulders. I shake hands with you firmly, look you in the eyes with confidence, and people feel relaxed because I am already relaxed in my own fit, jacked body. And by the way, when I say like I'm jacked, I don't mean like I'm the biggest person in the room or I look like a famous bodybuilder or something, but it just like basically means that you look 10 times, if not 100 times better than you used to. So being jacked is kind of subjective, and anybody like can say they're jacked if they're lean. They have like muscles defined, broad shoulders, a V taper shape, visible abs. Like, right, you don't need to be like the biggest person in the room to, but you need like to put some size if you're skinny. So I'm gonna teach you the things that I've done and sacrificed for in order to get this body. But before I dive into that, I want to mention what gave me the motivation, the desire to play this game, because I'm sure like a lot of you all interested in the gym would relate to this. So let me go to this slide. What gave me the desire? So here are like a couple of things that gave me the desire. Um, those are like I'd like to argue that every gym rat had to experience at least one of these things that I'm going to mention right now in order to give him the desire to enter the gym. So, now, first thing that gave me the desire was literally feeling sick. And I don't mean like I was diagnosed with a sickness, even though I would have reached that point uh, if I never went to the gym, basically. But it was more like I was sick. I was done with the body that I had, I'm sure like you can relate to that, where you feel like there's something missing in your life, something needs to be fixed. So suppose you enter a room and basically like everyone naturally has like more weight than you, without having to exercise. Like they literally just gain weight faster because like they have slower metabolism than us, and they kind of naturally look a bit like healthier than us. And so you start feeling awkward, embarrassed, and weak. And so basically you just feel sick and done, and you need like a change as soon as possible. So the second one is feeling low confidence. It's just like coming from feeling sick and stuff. And so basically, like another reason was like attracting no, like getting little to no attraction from women. So if you're someone who wants to attract, hang out with, or have more female friends, then improving your physical attractiveness is one of the best, easiest ways to attract beautiful, gorgeous women. You can attract really attractive women if you do nothing else other than improving your looks, including your facial looks, like trimming your hair and beard every like 2 weeks, and also improving your jawline by literally breathing from your nose, only with your mouth closed, and like sticking your tongue to the top of like upper part of your mouth, which makes your jawline like more defined. Also, by gaining muscle mass and building an aesthetic body, which is like having a like the V taper shaped body with broad wide shoulders and a big upper chest, and like some visible abs. So, like, I guarantee you that the single biggest thing by far to look better is to gain muscle mass and just focus most of your time like on weightlifting. When you gain like an extra 10 to 15 kilograms of muscle mass and like look clean without a belly, you will 100% guaranteed attract beautiful girls. Before I ever hit the gym and gain weight, like I'm sure I used to attract some girls, but like not even close to the number of girls that I do nowadays, because I was like socially awkward back then, and I had like a lot of social anxiety. I always felt uncomfortable around people, especially like girls. Um, and just people in general. Like, but 2 years of weightlifting literally destroyed like this anxiety and shyness that had made me like way more comfortable around beautiful attractive women. Another reason is having um, like, let me talk about like having low confidence more. So basically, a ton of great opportunities can slip from your hands simply because you lack self-esteem, which you can gain by doing something you become proud. And honestly, weightlifting is the best way to gain confidence simply because you can't help but feel proud after challenging yourself and winning that challenge after every gym session. So, a great muscular body will give you this image of a disciplined person who values self-respect, and so you cannot help but feel more confident in that case, right? Like another reason that spiked my desire to hit the gym is feeling weak and fragile. So honestly, there were a lot of situations that made me feel like I was in danger or had like the self-defense, but I couldn't like. I remember I was walking on the street once, like with two of my friends, and we passed a drunk guy with his girlfriend, and that guy like literally wanted to fight with us, because he thought like my friend was staring at him, and his girlfriend was pulling him back, trying her best to avoid problems with us. So we walked like away faster, and I literally felt embarrassed and weak that I couldn't do something about it, and that I would lose the fight simply because like I was skinny and he's obviously like much bigger and than me and like in size. And so I didn't even dare to just start a fight or something. And so that alongside other life experiences built that like kind of anger inside of me, which I later like poured into the gym. So I pushed harder and lifted heavier weights to simply become stronger. If you're weak right now, this should be your number one no-brainer reason to get your ass to the gym and build muscle. So these five reasons alone, like also like I wanted to look more attractive, right? So these five reasons alone should be enough motivation to get you to the gym. Now go and ask yourself, what is possibly the biggest reason I should hit the gym? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And keep that in your mind before ever thinking about starting the gym, because without this, you're most likely gonna quit early on in this journey. Now, now let me talk about three must do's to build muscle. And this is like based on my experience. Without applying these three things together, you won't build muscle. It's simple as that. You'll end up being this guy who's been going like for 6 months and not seeing any results or getting progress of some other guy's first month progress. And that's because consistency, good diet, and good sleep are crucial for building muscle and gaining weight. So let's talk about consistency. The only reason I've been able to see results in 2 years is because of consistency and discipline. Here's the deal, like when you're first starting out, your first focus should be on making progress and not being perfect. Like, let's say you wish to look like your favorite bodybuilder in 6 months or something, because you might think maybe like 6 months is a lot of time and effort to have a perfect body since you've never like been to the gym. I'm suspecting you watching this like you're a beginner or you have never been to the gym. So you might think like 6 months is a lot of time and effort to have like a perfect body, but the truth is it will take at least a year of consistency to build sufficient amount of muscle mass, like, and will probably take like at least 3 to 4 years to build a great aesthetic physique, since over that period of time you'd probably gain like at least 20 kg when you have like fast metabolism. So I'm talking specifically for skinny guys, skinny people. So now I'm pointing out this to make you understand the importance of consistency, and that is that it is like a long game to play in order to attain the results you're looking for, but it's totally worth it in every step. And take it from me, you're never going to regret a day working out. You're never gonna regret a day working out honestly. So like good diet, let's talk about good diet. So good diet, in other words, like eat like a beast, and specifically you should eat food in high protein and calories. So let me break it down for you. When you lift weights and like you do one rep for your bicep, for example, what's happening in your muscle tissues, like your muscle tissues are getting destroyed and waiting for the right nutrition and rest to rebuild itself. So every time you work out, you're actually destroying your body. The building part comes in having a good diet and plenty of rest. So when it comes to your diet, you need to be on what's called like a caloric surplus, which basically means that the total of amount of calories you take in a day is more than what you burn. So basically, there's caloric surplus and caloric deficit, and the latter is the opposite of surplus, which means like just eating basically less amount of calories than you burn, which is what we do on a cut. But what we want is to be on a caloric surplus, which is essential for muscle gain. Like literally, you must eat 100 to 400 extra calories each day to gain muscle mass, or else you'll see no growth in your weight or muscles. Now, it will be absolutely beneficial for you, like to track your macros and weigh every single food you eat. But honestly, like the major of people won't do this. It's quite a lot of effort, and so here's my quick advice that that I think will be valuable for you. You want to be building as much muscle as possible without putting on too much fat. So always try to be lean bulking. That just means that you need to eat slightly more than you're doing now and avoid foods high in fat and focus on eating healthy food and snacks high in protein. I'll show you what my diet looks like in the next slide and go into detail as to why you should avoid dirty bulking, which basically means eating junk food and sugar. Sleep is so important. Get more than 8 hours of sleep. So if you can basically, like everyone will tell you to get 6 to 8 hours. No, I tell you to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So your body will require a lot of rest after your workouts to recover. So what do you think? So what do you think like happens when you don't get rest needed? You'll be under recovering and you'll barely see any results. I remember in the days when I got full 8 hours of sleep, like sometimes I woke up with a pump, like, and I always perform 10 times better in the gym. You'll have a bad, you'll have like, you'll definitely have bad days in the gym where you basically feel no energy to lift heavy weights or you feel tired mid workout. And honestly, 90% of the time it comes down to the quality of sleep you had that night. So get your 8 hours of sleep. Your body will thank you for it. Now, let's talk about the perfect diet and like um, foods to eat on lean bulk. So basically, I listed down the food that I recommend you to eat on a lean bulk, which is included in my diet as well. I had to cut off as much sugar as I could, and I succeeded in that for long periods of time in these years. But of course, I had a lot of cheat days where I had a bar of like chocolate or junk food every now and then, and I'm not perfect, but it was like much less compared to what I ate before starting the journey, and it gets less with time. When you eat more healthy stuff like chicken and rice and less of the junk food, your body stops craving junk food or sugar with time. So it's like you only eat them for fun, or maybe because you hang out with your friends and you chose like a junk food restaurant. Like fine, but make sure in your day-to-day life, like make sure in your day-to-day life to stick to your clean diet, like the listed here, that I'm gonna show you like right now, so to get optimal results. And so I'd recommend you to have like 3 to 5 meals rich in carbs and protein per day. So for example, I'd highly recommend you to have chicken and rice daily, or even red meat or fish, since they're high in protein. A chicken breast contains around 56 grams of protein, red meat around 30 grams per 100 grams. So you need like around 2 grams of protein per kilograms of your body weight. So if you do the math, like if we do the math, like I need around 160 grams per day, knowing like my weight is around 80 kg right now. And so like chicken breasts alone would provide that. Imagine like chicken breast alone would provide uh, like a couple of chicken breasts a day alone would provide that number of amount of protein that is needed for my body to grow a sufficient amount of muscle. So chicken and rice is like a typical gym bro meal, like which is considered an essential for building muscle. A perfect diet has four factors. So now let's talk about the fucking like perfect diet, right? So, if we want to talk about the perfect diet, it maximizes muscle growth, minimizes fat gain, improves your health, and feels sustainable. So, if you find a diet that includes all four of these, you'll become a millionaire and attract the woman of your dreams. So, let's break that down. Basically, our diet should be one that is high in protein and complex carbs, like complex carbs, like not bullshit carbs. We're not gonna try to eat sugar, but complex carbs and moderate fats. So you need protein every few hours to maximize muscle protein synthesis. And you can imagine this as the process of turning protein into muscles and the recovery phase. Next, we want complex carbs around our workouts, which pretty much makes you stronger and perform better in the gym, which means like more muscle gain, obviously. And finally, you need moderate fats, which will help regulate your hormones and testosterone in a nice and healthy level. Um, Now let's talk about why you should do a clean bulk instead of um, so basically before I tell you why you should lean bulk, so the foods that you're gonna have to eat on lean bulk, like I recommend chicken and rice, red meat, fish, potatoes, eggs. Eggs are really good for like because they provide both protein and fats and like natural fats and carbs. So just eat like 5 eggs per day, 5 to 8 eggs per day would be like the ultimate protein you're getting per day from eggs. Like you'll get around 30 grams of protein just from eggs alone. Almonds, like I'd recommend you eat almonds after every workout. Yogurt, bananas, gainer whey. So if you're skinny as fuck, like I recommend you start with gainer. Don't jump into whey. Don't eat whey, because like first you need to gain weight, obviously. So just focus on buying a mass gainer and take creatine. But I'd recommend like you take creatine after you basically like gain some muscle, because creatine would be like useless if you don't have any muscles, because like the main function of creatine is like to store water, like to maintain the water storage in your muscles. So basically, if you don't have muscles, like you will see no effect. And so basically, eat oats, rice cake, and milk. So these are, I found like these to be the best food to eat. So here you can see, here's like oats with peanut butter on top of it. I mean rice cake with peanut butter on top of it, sorry. And like oats here, oatmeal like with yogurt, chicken and rice meals, like which I used to kind of eat like almost every day. And this is like the mass gainer, which like I took throughout my first few months, like almost first year. I'm just taking mass gainer, so I could have like, so that's how I've been able to gain like 10 k's, 10 kilograms from the first year. And like here we have eggs, bread and milk like in for breakfast, and like this sausage like meat. And basically, here are all the other meals like that I've eaten. I don't know, I just documented this, and took pictures of the meals that I've taken. Um, so here's like, this is like a protein shake or something. So just you, I think you have an idea of what you must eat. Now, let's talk about why you should bulk, but specifically lean bulk, not like dirty bulk. Now you should do clean bulk instead of a dirty one. Like it's simply because junk food and sugar is bad for us, right? So when you research this shit, it gets interesting. Sugar, for example, spikes insulin, which we want to keep like low. So when insulin is high, basically it will fuck up other hormones like leptin, and leptin sends like signal to you that you're full. So the more sugar you eat, the higher your insulin, and the less feeling that you get that you are full. So you will like kind of feel hungrier. You go eat more, you gain more fat, and you ruin your health. It fucks up your body, including your testosterone, which is like basically key for building the muscular physiques that make you attractive and keeps your body fat low. So sugar destroys your testosterone. So just lean bulk, bro. Like just lean bulk. Another reason is that junk food ruins your mental health, and you start to get like brain fog, which makes you less intelligent. Like like literally binge eating will make you stupid because then you cannot think straight. You don't have a sharp mind and you can't think straight. And honestly, like I felt a lot of times that I cannot focus on work and would just rather sit around or lie around and do nothing. So you know now that lean bulk is the best option here. Now let's talk about workouts and basically specifically weightlifting. So, in order to build like a fit aesthetic body, you need to train like a weightlifter, not calisthenics, not this gymnastic stuff, not the body weight workouts. It's just by going to the gym and grabbing barbells, dumbbells, and machines and doing slow, usually around 8 to 12 reps per set, while focusing on mind muscle connection like visualizations and lots of isolation. So, one of the most important things you must focus on is training close enough to failure. So like when you can't even move the weight anymore after your last rep, like the reason why this is so great is because you're naturally progressively overloading. The term progressive overload, which is the biggest thing that causes more muscle to be built, basically means you're doing an exercise more than you did last week. So it's like you lift heavier weights every week or do more reps per set. So when you train till failure, you're naturally progressively overloading because your point of failure moves further and further. So it's like you're naturally making progress to building the muscle, tearing the muscle. Now you need to understand that building muscle is painful. Like if you don't feel almost 9 out of 10 pain while lifting the weight or using the machine or whatever, then you're not building the muscle. So you're probably not training hard enough. And so next time you go to the gym or you go with you need to go with a mindset of like you're going to war zone with your current self and you want to feel pain, and you want to feel pain, like you don't mind feeling pain to destroy your body, tear your muscles to failure. This is honestly the best, fastest way to build muscle. Another tip I want to give you is that lowering the weight, the eccentric phase, is basically the more important than pressing it. And so, what I recommend you to do, like to build more muscle, is to press with speed and explosiveness and aggression, but to lower the weight slowly because, like, that's how you'll optimize your muscle building. So we've just already spoke about like trying. to like training to failure, where you're basically not stopping until the set until you're fucking like feeling you're literally dying, shaking, and everything. What you do after is optimize every rep, and the way you do that is you have 2 to 3 extra seconds of slow lowering phase. Feel the stretch and then exploding the muscle. That's where basically most of the muscle is built. So if you train till failure and focus on the eccentric phase, then you'll be the most optimal trainer in the gym. And so basically, that was my small presentation on my fitness journey and all the tips and tricks and how I did what I did like in 2 years. So if you find value in this video, like click the subscribe button below. I might like be doing more of these presentations about different topics, and yeah, I appreciate you. Like, I really appreciate you taking your time and watching this video, this long minutes video on my weightlifting journey. And I hope you feel inspired by it. I hope you start your weightlifting journey as well. And so we'll catch you later. See you.